everyone. My name is Janine, and thank you so much for joining me here again for our elemental series. Today we will be working with the element of water. So I'm sitting right now in front of a beautiful river, so I'm not sure if you can hear the water running or not, but it appears that the element of wind, of air, is picking up for us right now. So we're just going to embrace it all. So to touch on the qualities of water, the emotional qualities of water, they can be related to deep-rooted feelings or unstructured expression. They can also be associated with our sensitivity or our sensuality, since water is related to the sacral chakra, which is just below the navel. It also can be associated with our adaptability. So our ability to go with the flow, to change, to be dynamic. So water is here to invite us to be fluid and flowy, to go with the flow, to allow for our creativity and our emotions to wash through us. But it is also here to invite us to be still and to be calm. As water can be both turbulent and powerful and flowing and wavy, it can also be very still and stagnant and calm. So I invite you throughout this practice today to embody both of these qualities. So through our practice, we're going to be working with some deep hip openers to get into the emotional areas of our body, working with this sacral chakra. So we'll also be holding poses for a little bit of time, where I'll invite in stillness through our breath. But we'll also be working through some creative, dynamic, flowy movements. So I'll invite you to have fun with it and to maybe try something new, to move in a different way that you're used to try to break out of some patterns and try something different. So just like every practice, I'll invite you, of course, to move at your own pace. I am purely here to offer up suggestions for you. So at any point in time, you can come out of a pose or try something different. Do what your body is calling you to do. So I have a couple blocks here, and I'll invite you to bring in any kind of props for support that you would like. They are not necessary through this practice, but they can be very supportive and nice. So maybe a blanket or a pillow, a bolster, a couple blocks, whatever you have handy. If you want to get those, then you can pause the video and do that now. But otherwise, we'll get started. So wherever you are, find yourself in a comfortable seat, a sustainable seat where you can stay for a couple minutes. And we're going to bring in a mudra to begin our practice. So I wanted to bring in the water mudra. So this is the Jala mudra or Varuna mudra, which in Indian mythology is the god of water or of rain. So this mudra is the thumb and the pinky finger touching, and your middle three fingers sticking outwards. So go ahead and find this mudra on both sides. And I'll invite you here to now close down the eyes or find a heaviness there if that feels better for you today. So we play with mudras, this energy lock. So in Sanskrit, mudra translates to lock. And in yoga philosophy, it is believed that we have thousands and thousands of subtle energy channels that run all throughout our body. And a lot of these energy channels end in our fingertips. So when we come into these mudras, when we come into these locks, we are bringing in energy locks in our body, creating more focus there. So I'll invite you to see if you can feel any further energy flow that comes into this mudra, into your fingertips. And if not, that's okay. Then just have fun with it and stay open to the experience. So if you haven't already started to consciously breathe, then I'll invite you now to begin checking in with your breath. Maybe feeling your inhales travel up from the belly and into the diaphragm and up into the chest. And on your exhale, feeling yourself deflate as your breath travels down from your chest into your diaphragm and back down through your belly. So just tracing and following your breath a few times on your own, beginning to fill yourself up and just land in this present moment. And as you breathe, tracing your breath in and out, expanding and deflating your body, just really thinking about how you can embody this quality of water. Perhaps you're feeling like you want to move today and be flowy. Maybe your thoughts are feeling turbulent and wavy. So therefore, you would like to express yourself through your movements. Or maybe you're feeling calm and you would like to be still, bringing in a peaceful state. Now, wherever you are, think about cultivating the opposite. So whether you are drawn towards doing one or the other of these qualities, see if you can cultivate both by even bringing in the opposite of how you're feeling. On your next inhale, let's go ahead and bring our hands to heart center out in front of us in Anjali Mudra. You can blink your eyes open if you have them closed. And from here, let's inhale as we float our hands up towards the sky, our palms touch overhead. And exhale as you allow them to circle back down on either side of you, fingertips brushing the earth. And just a couple more times like that, inhaling as you float your arms up, maybe your gaze follows. And exhaling as you allow them to drift back down, just brushing the earth beside you, following your breath. And from here, let's bring our hands on top of our knees and just begin to undulate the spine. So I'll invite you to bring in any movement that feels good to you here. Maybe circles, maybe swing the torso side to side. Maybe your arms even get into it and create like a wavy-like motion. Or bringing your hands front to back. Just offering some suggestions here, but I would like you to play. I encourage you to play and to feel wavy and fluid through your movements. Just warming up the spine here in a different way than you may have tried before. All the while breathing, inhaling deeply through your nose and exhaling deeply through your nose. So just reminding ourselves how connected we really are with this water element. Our bodies literally being made up out of 60% water. How much our bodies exert water. We cry, we shed water out through our tears, we sweat, we perspirate. So we really do have such a deep connection with this element. One more breath wherever you are. On your next inhale, let's find ourselves back to center. And from here, let's get into our first hip opener. So I'll invite you to bring your feet out in front of you, soles of the feet planted on the earth. Bring your hands back behind you for a minute and just open up the chest, pushing into your hands here. Maybe even squeezing your elbows in towards each other. Just feeling an opening in your chest here. One breath. And from here, go ahead and lengthen your right leg. And we're gonna hug our left knee in towards our chest. From here, just begin to rock your knee side to side. Just beginning to get in to that hip flexor, finding mobility here, getting into the synovial fluids of our hips. And try to keep a long spine while you do this too, so you're not hunching over. So grow tall from your tailbone. Stay flexed in your right foot here. So with water, this river here, comes bugs. So you might see me swatting a little bit at some of the flies that are here. Some of them like to bite. All right, from here, if you would like to start to cradle your leg in towards your chest, you're gonna grab onto the outer edge of your left foot with your right hand and just pull your leg in towards your chest here. So you're creating like a parallel line with your leg here. Maybe stay here and just rock side to side, holding onto your knee with your left hand. Or if you'd like to come deeper, playing with sensation, then go ahead and hug that leg in towards your chest so you can kind of hook your right foot in towards the crease of your elbow here. And same with your knee on the other side. So hugging that in towards your chest and then begin to rock. So you're kind of like rocking a little baby here, cradling your leg. And breathe deeply. This is a big hip opener here. It can be quite intense. So definitely stay at any of those different cues or different bus stops of cues that feel good to you. So a couple rounds of breath here. And we'll release that by planting our left foot on the outer edge of our right leg. We're gonna go ahead and hug our left knee in towards our chest, coming into a bit of a twist here. So bringing your left hand back behind you to prop yourself up so you can grow nice and tall. We'll inhale to grow tall and we'll exhale to twist. As you inhale, just come out of your twist a little bit, maybe 20%. And exhale to get back into your twist. So just moving like this a couple times, following your breath, coming out of your twist on your inhale, and maybe going deeper into it on your exhale. Using your head and your neck too here. So gaze looks forward, and then gaze looks back. One more wherever you are. And on your inhale, coming back to center, we'll lengthen our left leg to meet our right and just shake them out here. All right, let's come into our second side. So bending into your right leg this time. Hug that knee into your chest and just begin to rock it out here. Getting into that synovial fluid now on your right hand side. Starting to open up the hip. And if you would like to come deeper, maybe grabbing onto the outer edge of your right foot with your left hand and hugging your leg in towards your chest. Maybe hooking the crease of your elbow into that sole of your foot and your knee into the right crease of your elbow. And rocking side to side here, seeing how this sensation changes. Not forgetting to breathe, sending those exhales into that big sensation. But being sensitive with yourself here, being kind at whatever your body is needing today, and if this is too much, then that's okay. All right, releasing that, bringing your right sole of the foot on the outer edge of your left knee, and we'll hug our right knee into our chest as we open up and begin to twist over to the right. So growing tall on your inhale and exhaling to twist. Following your breath as you inhale, come out of your twist about 20%. And exhale to go back deeper into your twist. A few times like this, following your breath. One more wherever you are. And on your inhale, coming back to center, lengthening your right leg to meet your left and just shaking it out here. From here, let's cross our legs so we can roll over onto our hands and knees. And just like before, I'll invite you to bring in any sort of movement that your body is calling. Maybe swaying your hips side to side. Maybe coming into like a funky little cat and cow shape. But just undulating the spine in a different way, a different pattern that you're used to. So tapping into that creative side. Maybe lifting up the arm one side with your inhale. And then the other with your exhale. So no rhyme or reason, no right or wrong. Just feel into what you feel. Our yoga practice, more around feeling sensation, not how a pose looks. Just be present with your breath, your movement, your sensation. So one more round of breath wherever you are. Then come back to neutral spine, tuck your toes, and let's push ourselves back into a downward facing dog. Begin to pedal out the feet here, opening up the back lines. Just taking notice to how your hamstrings, your back line feels today, how tight, how open it is. And from here, let's turn all of our toes over to the left side of our mat, bringing our heels to the right side, and begin to really deeply bend into your knees. Maybe looking over or looking underneath your left armpit here. Just feeling into this big lateral stretch. Maybe bending and lengthening your legs. Just play here. Maybe you begin to lift your left fingertips off the mat. See how that feels. Bringing in some circles. Just try to bring in this fluidity, this wave-like motion. Bringing it back to center now. Big exhale here. And we'll turn our toes to the right corner of the mat this time, heels to the left, bend deeply into the knees, maybe lifting your fingertips off the earth. Just playing here again, being curious. If it's too much for you, that's okay. You can stay in a neutral down dog or maybe even come down to a child's pose. Inhale, bringing it back to center. And let's begin to walk ourselves up to the top of the mat here. We'll come into a ragdoll fold. Grabbing onto your opposite elbows and just swing side to side. Bending your knees as much as you need. And releasing, let's slowly begin to roll ourselves up to standing. Take your time here. One vertebrae at a time, making sure your head is last to come up. Once you found yourself standing at the top of the mat, just rooting into your feet here for a moment, embodying this Tadasana, spirit of the mountain pose, staying nice and strong here, but nice and open at the same time. Maybe closing down the eyes or looking at something in the distance that's not moving. Just keeping your focus, bringing yourself back to the breath. And on your inhale, let's float our hands up towards the sky, upward salute, palms touch, and exhale as you begin to fold, diving forward into your fold. We'll inhale to our halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale as you reach everything up, growing tall, standing at the top. And exhale your hands to heart center. So from here, we're going to come into a balancing pose, a standing hip opener. This is our standing figure 4. So we'll begin by planting deeply into our right foot. From here, lifting your left knee up and hugging it into the chest, kind of like when we were seated at the beginning of practice, but we're bringing in our balance here. From here, you can begin to cross your leg so that your ankle is over top of the knee. And you can begin to bend deeply into your knees. So this is actually an awesome place for a block. So if you have those, then you can go ahead and grab them and use them for the front, at the front of your mat here. So once you find yourself in that figure 4 shape and you would like to begin to fold forward, you can go ahead and find those blocks so you're bringing the earth closer to you. If you don't have any blocks or you would not like to use them, you can bring your hands to your shin. You can bring your hands towards the earth. Or maybe keep your hands on your hips or in that undulate mudra. But just bring your hands to some point of contact. It will help for your balance. And one more inhale here. Big exhale. All right, begin to lift yourself up, finding your balance here, hands to heart center, uncrossing your leg, bringing your left sole of the foot to find the earth. And let's just rock it out here, step it out a little bit. All right, inhale, hands up towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up, upward salute. Exhale to heart center. Let's get into our second side. So rooting into your left sole of the foot, lifting your right knee up, hugging it into your chest. Begin to bend your knee, crossing your right ankle over your knee. Bring your hands to heart center, maybe your hips here. When you're ready, begin to fold forward, coming into your figure 4 folded shape. Let your head be heavy. Let your hands find wherever they may. And breathing here. One more round of breath. And when you're ready, using your balance to lift yourself back up, maybe hands to heart center, uncrossing your leg and stepping it beside your left. Just stepping it out here, shaking your legs. All right, let's inhale our hands back up to the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time, let's step ourselves back into that downward facing dog. Walk it out for a moment here. Big breath. And let's bring our knees towards the earth, dropping our hips towards our heel, sitting up tall onto our heels here. Just taking a round of breath. All right, we'll come into a deep hip opener from here and we'll hold it for a minute or two. So get what you need to be comfortable. We're coming into frog pose. So maybe you would like your blocks or a pillow or a blanket. So you might want to roll the side of your mat so that you have a double layer here for your knees, because it can be quite a lot on the knees or the ankles. So you're going to set yourself up so you're on the long edge of your mat. Maybe rolling a towel or a blanket here can be really nice for the inner knees. So bringing your knees as far apart as feels good to you. So they do not need to be crazy far apart, but try to bring a little bit of distance between them so you're getting a big stretch in the groin and the hip flexors here. And you want your ankles to be in line with your knees. So bringing your ankles so you see a nice straight line from your knee to your ankle, and flex at the foot here as well. So we're gonna fold forward or crawl ourselves forward, but watch that you're not bringing your whole body forward. You want your hips to be as well in line with your knees. So that's where you're really gonna feel that stretch. So from here, it can be really nice to have some pillows propped up, some blocks or anything to support you. Or maybe you're just staying upright and right here, and that is totally fine. It can be nice to relax the head on something, whether that is your own fists here, bending the elbows, placing your chin maybe into either fist or either palm, and just begin to breathe. Or maybe you want to crawl yourself so your whole torso and your chest is rested on top of your bolster, pillow, or block, and you can relax your head down. But wherever you are, make sure that you're not going too deeply to begin. You would like to find, ideally, your intelligent edge. So this is an edge that you feel sensation, but not too much that you feel like you're just waiting until you can come out of it because it's really intense. So your body will release and let go throughout the pose. So go to a place initially that is not too intense. So finding yourself there, making yourself comfortable as can be. I know that this is a really intense hip stretch. It can also feel intense on the knees if you don't have the proper padding. So take care of yourself. Please be sensitive. Please be kind and do what you need to do to put your body in the shape as best as what works for you. Move the shape to you. Don't try to push yourself deeply into something that's not working for you. If this is so too much, you can also bring your ankles together and then sit a little bit deeper into the hips, like you're in a wide child's pose. I think this one's called tadpole. Or maybe try both and see what works for you today. So let's just stay here now with our breath. We'll be here for about a minute, so I will let you know when it's time to come out. If you find yourself, your thoughts going all kinds of different directions, which they very well could, then just bring yourself back to your breath. Allow your breath to be your anchor. Allow yourself to feel into that still quality of water. Imagine that you are a still pond. Taking 2 more deep breaths. And we'll slowly come out. So taking your time here. If you're propped up, just slowly lifting your torso and pushing yourself back up. And we're going to slowly bring our heels in towards our seat. And as we do that, we can slowly pick up each knee and bring them closer together, tucking your toes back behind you if that helps, until you can sit back onto your heels from here. So big hip opener there. Just take a moment to let that sink in. Even after we come out of a pose, we're not completely out of it because the resonance of the pose is still with us. So just take your time as you move between shapes. There's no need to rush. And from here, we're just going to bring ourselves down onto our backs now. So getting there however you would like, just taking it slow. Slowly lowering yourself down onto your back. Hugging your knees into your chest here. We'll just come into some circles with the knees, so tracing your knees out away from you and then around into a circle towards your armpit and back into your chest. So just moving like this a few times. Going in the other direction. And from here, you can bring the left sole of the foot to the earth and we'll hug our knee into our chest. So rocking your knee side to side. Lifting your foot up towards the sky, keeping that bend in the knee. We're going to grab onto the outer edge of our right foot, coming into a half happy baby. So go ahead and bring your left hand towards your left hip. Just use that to kind of push your hip down for stability here. You can open up with your left foot, so you're kind of opening up the hip so you're rolling onto the outer edge of your left foot. Or maybe you would like to lengthen your leg to the end of the mat. So seeing what feels good and just beginning to rock your knee side to side. Getting once again into those hip flexors, seeing if anything's possibly a little more open now after that big frog pose we just did. And releasing, bringing your right sole of the foot to the earth and hugging your left knee in towards the chest. Grabbing onto the outer edge of your left foot this time and opening up. So your sole of the foot is facing the sky, opening up your hip here, bringing your knee so it's kind of in line with your shoulder or your elbow, and just rocking side to side. Again, seeing what you would like to do with your right leg, if it's bent still, opening up, or perhaps you've lengthened your leg nice and long. Just a couple times side to side here. And releasing that. We'll hug ourselves into a tight little ball here. Inhale and exhale to let everything go. We're coming into our final resting pose. This is Shavasana. Before we relax everything down, bring both of your legs in tight towards each other and squeeze your legs, flexing your feet nice and tight. Bring your hands to either side of you as well, pushing your palms into your side bodies, and just create a lot of tension, a lot of tightness here for just a moment. So breathing deeply in and exhale to release everything. Let your legs splay out, bringing them so there's a bit of a gap between your legs, maybe shining your palms up towards the sky, maybe kind of tucking your shoulder blades underneath each other. So you're in a constructive and conscious resting pose here. And just begin to come back to a natural rhythm of breath, slowing your breath down. And as you begin to relax, perhaps visualize yourself as a cube of ice, a solid structure of water, a still structure of water. And perhaps you are this cube of ice sitting out on a hot day, and you're beginning to melt. So feeling that quality of water begin to change as you melt. Perhaps you feel yourself softening and melting into the earth, growing heavier. As this cube of ice turns completely into liquid, the sun is beginning to dissolve this water, evaporate this water, and you're now turning from liquid melted ice into steam. And the steam is slowly evaporating up into the sky. Maybe you can feel the sensation of complete lightness as you allow yourself to dissolve into this shape. Fully letting go. Begin to awaken yourself back up by deepening the breath, inviting in any movements that feel good to you. Moving back from the still quality of water into this flowing, moving quality of water. Maybe bending at the knees and rolling over onto one side. Slowly take your time to push yourself up to a seat. Keeping your eyes closed down. Ending our practice right where we began. Bring your hands to heart center here. Giving yourself a moment of thanks and gratitude for taking the time for you, for embodying these many qualities of water. Namaste. Thank you so much, yogis, for joining me here today for this elemental series on water. So for your coming week, I'll invite you to bring in this quality in some new form, in some new way. So maybe embodying your creativity by doing something new, maybe tapping into your sensitivity or your sensuality, maybe taking some time to really dive into your deep rooted emotions by doing a journaling exercise, or perhaps really embodying water by being in it, taking an extra long, deep, nourishing bubble bath, or perhaps going swimming in a lake or the ocean. Whatever it might be, just think about embodying water. There's a little friend here. Hello. But let me know what you thought of the video. Leave me a comment below, subscribe if you haven't, and share this with your friends and family. And look out for the next elemental series. Thank you so much.